Welcome back to some professional StarCraft 2, the ESL Open NA Finals, with two of the most North American players we could scrounge up. Let me introduce his first objective: to make that cleaning bot know he means business, move on with his life, slap down a pylon in his very own base. So a surprisingly macro-oriented build. Put your likes and your subscribes together for the man, the myth, mostly myth, we're not sure of anything else, MaxPax. The #1 golden retriever ranked in StarCraft 2. Ostensibly from Denmark, but who knows at this stage. Now, we know a lot more about the opponent here, grinding out these ESL Cups like they're his job, which is, accurate, because they kind of are, because he is a professional StarCraft 2 player. Anyways, you know him, you acknowledge him, you wish you didn't play so much like him. It's Cure, the people's Terran. He makes mistakes, but more often than not, he comes out on top. Definitely the player to copy if you're an aspiring Terran. Even if it's not as flashy, it's effective. We'll see if he can have that sort of performance against MaxPax, who sometimes it feels like it's all flash and no substance. As MaxPax is, I think a lot of his builds work very well on the ladder. They work just fine in these high-level tournaments, but especially on the ladder when there's a single-digit number of people who can micro well enough to deal with MaxPax's aggression. And we see most of those matches, and that's why it feels like he loses so much in these highlight matches, is because it's usually MaxPax doing these crazy builds that give him a 90% win rate on the ladder, and then going up against someone just a little bit better and having slightly less success. He's a very dramatic Protoss. Not as dramatic as the build he originally started with, which was, of course, the MaxPax build, where he realized, why would I build gateway in base when outside their base do trick? Of course, that got figured out pretty quick. Now, it's a little more well-rounded, but it definitely isn't a spherical style. He is still much more pointed towards the aggression side of things. Twilight Council immediately. Cure with the triple Rex has kind of slipped back into popularity, the good old-fashioned M&M build. Marines and Marauders. This is, just in general, this can punish any sort of, Twilight and Stargate builds. You just don't have enough units, and you get run over by the Stim Marines and Marauders. They just do a lot of damage early, and unless Protoss either goes for a large amount of units or heavy tech, you gotta be careful, because taking that quick third means you may just die. He lets Cure. Bro. You gotta close the door. Oh, citizen! Stop right there, criminal adept! Cure with... Well, okay, so you might be like, well, he killed it, so that's fine. The Adept it wasn't just that the Adept got in, it was that the Adept scouted that this was now a multiple Rax build. Before this, MaxPax only saw Marines, which tells him almost nothing. Now he's seen 2 Rax. Yes, it could have been worse if the SCVs didn't rise up against the oppressors. I think this SCV is supposed to be repairing, but Cure likes to take work breaks. He knows 16 out of 16. The number turns red after that. That means it's bad. The people's Terran, okay? Understanding that even SCVs need breaks as well. So shout out to Cure. But in a more realistic sense, Cure now, his build has been scouted. He knows that, and it means the likelihood of success is significantly lower, at least of just outright winning. MaxPax he's getting as much vision as possible to make sure he can micro back with the Blink Stalkers. He's about to spot the army moving across. The Stalkers should move to start kiting whatever they can. Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't move immediately. Charge is on the way. How many gates? He's only got 2 gates, which is not really enough gates. Okay. Yeah, the Stalker count is high enough. He must have thrown some Chronos into the mix here. Picks off a handful of Marines. Stim and Combat Shield are done. Cure just slips on by. He stims in, goes straight for the shield battery. Gonna target on the Zealots. Cure's going for the throne. Stalker's trying to blink to defend. Cure just ran right by all the defenses. And yeah, this is the big weakness of the Twilight in the third. There's just no units here. Cure may have gone a little far. Yeah, there's no, you can't recall. I'm surprised he didn't try for the probes at the natural. So, well, let's see. He lost a lot of Marines and Marauders. That was 18 Marines and 3 Marauders so far. For 5 probes, I don't... It wasn't amazing. It did give Kiera quite a scout as well. It definitely wasn't a decisive victory for Kiera. MaxPax, not one to overwhelmingly make probes. He definitely isn't a sit back on 4 base and 80 probes sort of player. When he gets over 60 probes, it's already like an achievement's been unlocked. So it does actually slow down his economy, and Kier's at 56 SCVs. The key point is that MaxPax does not have splash damage. He doesn't have Colossi, though he does have a Robo-Bay on the way. Doesn't have a Templar Archives. And against this mass bio play, the extra M's being added on, the M and M here, the Medivacs make these units exponentially more effective by perpetuating their drug addiction and thus their DPS. We've got the 4th M being added in, the most dastardly, the Widowmines. Quite good against the swath of charge lots that MaxPax is seemingly interested in. But Cure, alright, to the Cure action cam. Things are bad. It's not good. I guess we're base trading. The classic choice. He's gonna clean up one Zealot. There's enough on the 30. He just had to pull back. He makes the decision, though scrambling a little. Doesn't quite get it. Cure struggling. Oh no! It's a struggle out there. We're watching the Cure cam just so everyone can feel a little better. Well, he's gonna get the 4th anyways, because MaxPax did not notice this army. I don't know if he had vision out there. No, he didn't know until it started stemming in, so the timing really didn't matter too much. Eventually, Cure gets the 4th. The Blink Stalkers blink a little far forward, trying to pick off those Medivacs. The War Prism lives through that. No... there's some Marines worshipping the potential Medivacs as they hang out in the main. Stalkers are not enough to really kill anything on their own besides their own self-esteem. +1 infantry weapons, already +1 ground weapons done for MaxPax. Actually, that is quite a late infantry weapons for Cure. He does have double NG Bay, though. Another Zealot. Running into the natural. Guardian Shield protects the Colossi. Quite a thin army here. This Zealot is another citizen's arrest. Gateway units are not safe on their own. They must travel in packs. Cure stims in. There's no battery overcharge because the Nexus is not yet complete. MaxPax blinks out. Gonna kill his own, well, attack his own Stalker to kill the mine. These Medivacs are feeling overworked and underpaid right now, especially now that MaxPax looks to be picking one off. Bit of a messy game so far, but Cure has come out of it with a significant supply lead. He seems to have map control despite the repeated efforts of MaxPax to drag him back. I don't know, 2 Marauders and a Medivac. The Bio Army just sliding back and forth. The Marauders taken out. A scan. Does he go? Cure's thinking about it, but he doesn't have any Vikings. If he had a few, it would be quite helpful as the Stalkers are out of position. +2/+2 on the way for Cure. What? Vikings? Finally get the prism. Knocked down. Oh, another. Stand right over there, Bobby. Not even close. Why? This can't be good. Stalkers out on their own, looking for any opportunity they can get. Disruptors on the way, and the Dark Templar as well. The double Ds of destruction in the production tab. Observer paying off. MaxPax able to see most of, at least where the army is not. Cure with some, well, hefty bio armies on either flank here. He loads up into the Metavex. A few units left behind, but it's time. And he heads for the main. He didn't have enough Metavex for all the units, so the rest have to go join up with their friends in the middle of the map. But the idea's there. The scan. Will there be a recall to the main? There is energy, but no recall. Scrambling back. Kira, though. Oh, it's gonna get weird! Another warp prism into the main cancels, or at least delays, the fourth base. A couple random zealots on the Chew Toy depots. In the main base, Cure microing back 15 probes already down, ripping down whatever's in front. Misses a shot on the Disruptor. I'm not sure what happened there. 2 Colossi boxing out of MaxPax's fourth, but the Disruptor cleans up the mines. The Bio Army with +2/+1 looking pretty difficult to break, just enough. And Cure is forced back. How many zealots must die, and he didn't kill the mine? Oh my god. MaxPax is very ready to kill his own units. Cure is still maxed out after all this. He's still holding on. Another Disruptor. I think there was Widow Mine in there, I guess. It's unclear. But Cure is still pretty much maxed out throughout all this. He has not lost a significant amount of economy. MaxPax, he's still looking okay. He's adding on even more fragile units, the Disruptors and the Dark Templar. But this is the late game for Protoss against Terran much of the time. Once that Bio Army gets too strong, you kind of got to try to circumvent it. Well, Disruptors, another army just... Oh my god. Alright, 2 Disruptors down. Target fire was able to get one of the Ruptors. Fires another shot through. Takes a decent chunk, but not nearly enough. The charge launch helping a bit. 5 SCVs. The third base. Wait, no. DT gets into the fray. Just slips by. Observer taken out awkwardly. This army, already in autumn colors, stimmed itself. More SCVs going to die. Cure not cleaning this up very quickly. Drop at the third, which has a Robo and a Dark Shrine. Scans. Those are all, well, actually, 1 DT immediately killed. The Medevac that had units in it was the one that's first to die. Cure scrambles back on the left flank as the charge lots are chasing. The drop itself, the one that was originally in the main, going to be cleaned up, and suddenly MaxPax wins a fight on both fronts and is up by 20 supply. Cure picks up a few Widow Mine hits, but overall dropping the ball as MaxPax takes some very cost-effective fights across the field. Well, Cure EMPs his own Medevac. God damn it, Cure. Come on. Come on, Cure. I don't know what he was looking for, but he definitely missed it. He EMP'd his Medevacs. There was nothing there to EMP. He didn't hit anything but his own Medevacs and the ghost that cast the EMP. But... oh. Well, MaxPax's still going to have trouble moving up here. A great EMP with those shockwaves showing the entire radius. Cure still has an army that's very difficult to attack into for MaxPax. He needs Cure to be looking away. That means DTs with Blink. That means hitting a base where the defenders aren't already entrenched. There are no Liberators right now. There's just a whole bunch of bio with Ghosts. And this is not a planetary. Are we really doing this, guys? Alright, Disruptor shot chases down. This army not going to be beat, but Cure. EMP, as well as Scan, cleans up the DTs. Here we go. A base for a base. Traded out. A DT cleaned up. There's a planetary at the triangle base here for Cure. He gets 23 probes. Most of Cure's army stays intact. Cure going to be able to evacuate pretty cleanly. Going to continue forward. Both sides with a huge amount of army supply. The economies are starting to dwindle, so it's going to be hard to replace too many of these units. But right now, Disruptor shots gets one. Decent split. Hits the second. Another one. Very good split out of Cure, given plenty of time there. But more Disruptors are showing up to the party. The army moves back. Cardlot try to clean up. Cure targets down a Nexus. Picks up. Gets out. The Blink Stalker's a little bit too late as it became a not-so-super pylon as the Nexus fell and the Warping was delayed. MaxPax, I think Cure overall takes a win in these engagements. He has another, that's his natural is moving right now, not his main. But his natural is moving to what we could call his fourth. He took out 2 bases of MaxPax and got out with 180 supply. So overall, and now MaxPax seems to be transferring probes to the wrong side of the map. So this is the scenario we find MaxPax in a lot, which is he's gotten this far, but he's not quite sure how to close it out. A lot of, I think it's Cure kind of just wandering around hoping MaxPax makes a mistake. And so far, MaxPax is mostly obliged. Wow, what a natural concave here. But the Disruptor doesn't find too much. Fadeaway shot looks good. This base is not going to happen. MaxPax does need to cancel. He doesn't have the money to burn right now. He does. Meanwhile, another army. EMP, a single Colossus. Battery overcharge. Needs to hit the Colossus. Reshields it. That's just so much DPS from the ground army, though. Charge lots warped in. The Colossus still intact. Battery overcharge helping a lot, but the rest of the Robo Bay units flanked in the natural. Down goes the Colossus. The charge lot's cleaned up. Cure winning the fight at the 4th or 5th. And he's winning the fight at the natural as well. Disruptor Ball chases him back. Clips a Marauder. Another shot. Temporary delay. The rest of the units trying to come in. The Medivacs are actually out of energy. Blink Stalker's moving forward. Cure still has a large enough army to deal with this. The Disruptors are recharging, though. DT's on the back line, making things complicated. Both sides, remember, there's an army at the natural at the same time. Fires a shot. Cure just runs away, which is the safest possible choice, as he's reestablished his economy but lost his workers. I know that sounds like an oxymoron there, but with Terran, you do have access to those mules, and in general, you don't need to mine as much gas. Though at this stage of the game, Ghosts are one of the most premium units you can have, and those are pretty gas-heavy. MaxPax, he sees the army. Any opportunity for a Disruptor shot. Kind of gets caught on the corner there. The army supplies heavily in favor of Cure, but of course, like 15 Dark Templar can change that very quickly, as can Disruptors. Does he just blink? He's like microing against a planetary. He slices it to pieces. Any amount of pieces over 1 is really bad news for a planetary. Disruptors. The Ghosts dramatically die, leaving only 1 alive, and now Cure in the toughest part of the match for Terran in general and Cure specifically. Handling all these incredibly dangerous units on all fronts. Oh no, that was way too far forward. MaxPax blocks in, and he's not getting out. 1 DT survives. Oh, recloaks just in time. That was a big blunder there. A lot of DTs going down on a very optimistic blink. MaxPax has somehow reestablished several Nexi, but he's 1 bad fight. Well, everyone's 1 bad fight away, but Cure does seem like he's coming out on top of the more scrappy engagements. That is enough Disruptors to give anyone a pause. EMP fires the shot. Gonna try to micro. Disruptor forces the splits. Another Disruptor from the back line. Another shot. Looking for more. EMPs across the board. Flanking units. Airball. Charge lots need to get in front. Disruptors from the back. Who's flanking who? The Disruptors on the run. The charge lots need to box out. Fadeaway shot. Looks for more. Target fire there. Knocks it down. DT's in the 3rd. 24 SCVs. The economy is shattered. Insane hit. Cure gets stuck in a traffic jam, and everyone there gets obliterated. Oh, it's a bloody massacre across the field right now. It's unclear who's going to come out on top of this disruptor shot. It's nothing because Cure is forced to pick up and get out. A blink away. Parting shot from the Widowmine. And where does that leave us? Cure is down 23 supply. It's a disaster. He was not able to keep it up on all fronts. Too many disruptors landed. The DTs slip in like DTs do. And once again, he's in a tough spot, though he does still have a bunch of Medivacs, Marines, Marauders with 3-3. MaxPax does have maxed upgrades. Something packs. I'm not clever enough to fill that in, but the Bio army is very potent. The disruptors are required. Oh, well, a Widowmine hit, not gonna help here. Cleans things up. Finishes off the Observer. Disruptor hunts down that ghost. DT is still looking for an opportunity. MaxPax can't overstay his welcome here. That is the biggest risk at this stage of the game, is getting outflanked by a larger army. Speaking of, EMP, target fire, Cure finds one. Zealots and Marines, both obliterated by the disruptor shots. No such thing as friendly fire. It's unfriendly to everyone involved. And that leaves MaxPax with no shots left. It's suddenly Cure turning it around and tearing through the rest. What a roller coaster. As the amount of Medivacs brings everything back intact. Without the disruptors, these units are at full HP 24/7, no matter how many drugs they do. Another disruptor shot from the flank. They're just rolling in. Charge lots trying to create a force field. Targets the disruptor in time. The charge lots chasing. Blink Stalkers knocked down a Medivac. Cure ahead on supply. There must have been a DT somewhere. A handful of SCVs died. Looks like it got cleaned up, but MaxPax overstayed his welcome. Just a little bit too deep with the disruptors. EMP hits, but the charge lots are tanky enough to hold the line for now. There's a critical mass of bio. It becomes very difficult. Just airball again. Doesn't find anything. Another disruptor shot too late. Cure turning it around. EMP! And I think there's enough. Oh! 150 zealots died. 29 DTs. 18 eruptors. Cure holds it together. It was, well, MaxPax not quite as cost-effective or as effective as he needed to be. Just couldn't lay off the gas for long enough to keep his at high enough. Oh, that was what? He lost a lot of gas, okay? It was not good, but he also lost a lot of minerals, and he also, very importantly, lost the game. So, game one goes to Cure, despite some strong efforts to the contrary. Wow. Yeah, I mean, both these two, very, very contrasting styles, but I think they're very evenly matched because of it. I think, like, MaxPax, I think, is a technically better player, like his micro, despite what we saw there, is overall quite solid. Whereas Cure isn't a very macro-minded player. The way Cure wins is by making better decisions over a long amount of time. He rarely wins because he just did the sickest micro in this one fight. He's not a highlight reel Terran, not really. And as we saw there, it was less Cure's sick micro and more luring MaxPax into a false sense of security and then beating him over the head with it. I think MaxPax underestimates Cure's tenacity. He's not going to tap out because he's not going to realize how many... We've literally seen Cure win and lose games because he's walled off his own units and then was like, oh yeah, I have 30 more supply than I thought. Of course, he's also left games because of that, and didn't notice. But, you know, the people's Terran. Who hasn't walled off their units, especially as Terran? We've all done it. And those of us who haven't, just don't play StarCraft. Don't lie to people. Like and subscribe. Winter, that's what we have you for. Make sure to slam that super thanks in the chat. We're going to be doing that on, especially if you're watching this on YouTube. I didn't know that if you don't stream, you could do the super give me money stuff. Shout out to YouTube for adding more options. But you're going to see that. I don't know what it means, but if I get more money, well then, that's a plus. So, MaxPax agrees. He takes 5 juicy minerals. Totally because he needed that extra tip back at home and not because it makes the Adept shade in faster from that mineral wall location. Also, that's a Stalker. I guess the same applies. Cure with the Tri-Rex. Once again, I do think MaxPax had no respect for it. And he really should have taken more damage. Cure bungled that. Cure could have killed like 15 probes, I think. But he decided to just dive into the main base for some reason instead of staying at the natural. MaxPax did not have nearly enough units to deal with it. With 2 gates, it's just not enough. Like, you have gateway units and you have less production. But Cure kind of flailed around with it. I bet Cure would tell you the same. And I think that's why he's doing it again. Because against MaxPax's kind of flailing scalpel style, a good old-fashioned iron pan to the face it is pretty effective. Ooh, adding in that concussive shell. It's looking like a pretty similar build out of MaxPax. 2 gates into 3rd. Does he really think? Stop there. Therefore, okay, does not let the Adept in, but the Marauder is here, and the Marauder kind of gives away the whole idea. Just having a Marauder means there's a tech labbed barracks, okay? And if you've seen a reactored barracks, well, it doesn't take it as long as you're able to have a little bit of object permanence. It's a barracks, bro. Oh, he breaks the knees and catches a Stalker. Yeah, you don't expect the concussive shells quite that early. A good choice out of Cure. And that means, like, there's not that many units here. He has overcharge. He has energy for overcharge. Okay. He uses it immediately. Cure just, well, he loses the Marauder and backs off. The blink is done. What? Where are you going? Come back here. Just waiting for 2 more Marauders. Gotta be careful with those Stalkers. Okay. Well, MaxPax handled that beautifully. 4 Stalkers, enough to easily take out those Marines. Cure, not too particular about attacking up the ramp. Four Stalkers, all MaxPax is willing to risk. Wait, that might be all he has. Oh no, he has more Stalkers at home. Charge. Observers. Forge on the way. Overall Cure, he's got all his basic bio upgrades. He's got the concussive, stim, and combat shield. The +1 still pretty far off. So, this has not been scouted. Wow, this is unfortunate. MaxPax loses a sentry. The Immortal, a force field? Okay. Well, Cure decides that's enough. We've done good. And it is just Stalkers here. He did kill 9 probes. This has already been a success. Even if he loses everything else without killing really any Stalkers, which may actually be how this ends up. I'd call this a win. This is definitely a win for Kier. He killed enough probes. He killed immortals, sentries. Overall, he can just do the same thing. Maybe add in some medevacs. And it only gets better. MaxPax has nothing on the way to make this easier. You finish charge, but he doesn't have the economy to really warp in constant charge mods. And against +1 Marine Marauder, MaxPax wants to at least delay the third. Kier, boxing him out. Seems pretty cut and dry so far. Warp Prism. Something to keep Kier busy. Here he comes. Medevacs, the final. I like the very simple but effective style of Kier. He's like, I got Marauders of Concussive. We go. All right? He stopped me. Pull back. I got Stem. We go. I got Medevacs. We go. And this might be enough. It depends a little on the micro. Battery overcharge. There is a Templar Archives on the way, but one Archon not going to do too much here. Target fire is good. Burning through the overcharge. Here. Holding the line. His unit's pretty heavily stemmed, but MaxPax's unit's pretty heavily dead. He warped in some on the other side of the map, which will drag all of Kier's SCVs to the natural. So if MaxPax somehow defends this, which is looking less and less likely. Nope, the Zealots get cleaned up. There's just not enough units here. Kier. And yeah, there's the Templar Archives and the location where it's very likely to die. So, yeah, this is... Yeah, he's dead. He's super dead. Kier wins. This one, pretty cut and dry. No last-second defense. No dramatic dive into the main. Kier with a very careful, methodical dismantling. Okay, just... come back here and win the game, Kier. What are you... Okay. MaxPax is like, alright. If you won't... I'll do it. So, 2-0 for Kier. That was a pretty technical knockout. MaxPax, like, I don't understand. It's... You have to micro so perfectly against a bio army with that Blink Stalker. But I'm not saying you can't do it. But I'm saying it's not worth it most of the time. Like, you just don't have enough stalkers to deal with the brute force. It's essentially like trying to out-micro a meteor. It's just... It's not going to be able to change trajectory very much. You can maybe knock it a little off course if you're lucky, but you need a little less finesse and a little more just units. But MaxPax is finesse oriented to a fault. He does make it. Here's the thing. Right, you might be like, well, I always watch MaxPax lose. Well, guess what? We're watching the finals of the ESL Open. He had to beat many, at least a handful of top-tier players to get here, as it is essentially the weekly paycheck for a lot of players, especially Kier. So, and Kier, I love how Kier's just, nope, it's my build. It didn't work in the first game just because I got a little too antsy. Got too crazy. All right. Let's not get crazy. And that is, I think, if you're wondering, what do you think the answer is? Nobody asked, but if you're wondering, either you go 4-gate and you try to deal with it directly, or you rush RoboBay. If you just go for like Immortal and Gateway units, you're reliant entirely on your micro being perfect, and even then you might just not have enough units, because 3 racks can pump out more units than you can with 2 gates. You simply have less units. So you're defending more bases with less units. I'm not a mathematician, but that does seem difficult. In both these games, MaxPax has scouted the 3 racks beforehand. He knew what he was up against. So either he's confident he can defend it with those 2 gates, or he's just gambling. Mixing it up this time. Stargate. B4, Warp Gate. Definitely focused on getting probably a quick Oracle. But who knows? This time, no Cure. Reactor Factory. Mixing it up. Hellions. So, this is going to be... It's going to be different. I have no idea how it ends, because it really depends on, 1, what the Hellions end up doing, and 2, if there's any anti-air for the Oracle. Or he just goes Phoenixes, which can work. So Phoenixes are definitely an interesting choice. I'm not sure of it. Well, it's going to be Widow Mines afterwards. Widow Mine drop for Cure is the intent. 2 Hellions just beat an Adept, right? Hey, you just shoot it with your fire mine. Right? Am I crazy? Well, he should be able to wall, but he does just lose the Adept. There are 2 Phoenixes now. It's kind of... Okay. Well... I'm a little... Yeah. I'm glad. I bet you're wondering why I've gathered you here. Huh. Well, here we are. The Widow Mines. Let's play Find the Widow Mine. There they are. Alright. Wait, where are the other ones? Ah. There are 2 here. You knew he went Reactor Hellion MaxPax. You still went for it. He's lucky it was only 1. The mine moves. Oh, not again. Come on, don't fall for it again. You got it. Okay, he knows. It's the most obvious spot to hide him. Cure, an expert at playing Find the Widow Mine. For about a year, like 2018 or so, this was the entire TVP matchup was, where's the Widow Mine? Because there's always a Widow Mine, and people kept moving it further and further out of their base, just kind of divining where the Oracle or other Stargate units would go. It got a little ridiculous. The real meta was to put it in your base because so many people are putting it out of their base. Something, mind games. Well, looks like the Star Charge build. Phoenix Charge Lot. A very... Well, Widow Mines are a great counter, but not too many of them on the field right now. What are you doing, mate? He's over here trying to pick off individual Marines. But... a Phoenix Charge Lot style. Very brute force, overwhelming, slam the door shut in your face and never let them back into your house kind of situation. If Cure doesn't realize it's not... because some players will go just straight to Colossi. Phoenix Colossus is probably the most common option off of this. So if you hit a nice timing with enough energy on the Phoenix, you can disable the Colossi. And with the triple threat, the Stim Combat Shield +1, you can run over maybe a 3rd base. But in this case, MaxPax is going for the Mass Gateway Charge Lot. He's trying to blindside Cure with an overwhelming amount of units. Problem is the Widow Mines are even better in that case. The Widow Mines... Is there even a Robo? So there isn't a Robo. And while there's no armory... there is no detection for the mines until they fire. I don't think there's an Oracle either. So that does seem like a bit of an oversight. As the Widow Mines... Yeah. Well, the single Templar to try to kill, or at least disable the Raven with feedback. Unfortunately, now MaxPax has kind of just lost access to his natural. Here comes Cure. Oh no, well, this is a total disaster. Oh. Does MaxPax just lose? Well, Cure walks into... So unfortunately, yeah, the charge lots died of Widow Mines as well. MaxPax kind of just... It did not work out. Well... Cure just kind of waltzes in, flops the mines down, and takes the win. Cure! With a pretty... well, first game a bit shaky, but a clean enough 3-0. MaxPax not really deviating from that heavy gateway style, but Cure's bio ball. He likes making a large amount of them. Well, Cure takes the win. I hope you enjoyed my commentary. Always good to see the people's Terran bring one home. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, and leave a comment, and check all the buttons because they're very exciting. Check out these videos, those videos, more of this video. Good luck, have fun. See you next time. Stay chill.